আর এক নাম
My dear share owners, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. It is 2 p.m. and time to start the meeting. I welcome all of you to the 44th Annual General Meeting of the company. This meeting is held through video conferencing because of the prevailing situation. This is in compliance with the circulars issued by the Ministry of Corporate Affairs, Government of India, and the Securities and Exchange Board of India. The company has taken all feasible steps to ensure that the shareholders are provided an opportunity to participate in the annual general meeting and vote. Adequate video conferencing facility and live webcast of the proceedings of this meeting have also been provided. The requisite quorum is present, and therefore I call the meeting to order. The register of directors and the key managerial personnel and their shareholding and the register of contracts or arrangements in which directors are interested are available. This will remain accessible to the members for inspection electronically if they so desire. I wish to introduce, for the benefit of new members, my colleagues on the board of the company. Shri Y.P. Trivedi, Dr. R.A. Mashelkar, Professor Deepak Jain, Shri Adil Zanulbhai, Shri R.S. Gujral, Dr. Shumit Banerjee, Srimati Arundhati Bhattacharya, Shri K.V. Chaudhary, Srimati Neeta Ambani, Shri Nikhil Meswani, Shri Hital Meswani, Shri P.M.S. Prasad, Shri P.K. Kapil. All the directors of the company are present at this meeting. Shri Alok Agarwal and V. Shrikant, CFOs, K. Sethuraman and Savitri Parekh, company secretaries, and the representatives of our statutory auditors and secretarial auditor are also present at this meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, notice dated 27th May 2021 convening this annual general meeting and a copy of the annual report for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 have already been circulated to the members of the company electronically. With your permission, I shall take them as read. The auditor's report on the standalone and the consolidated financial statements and the secretarial audit report of the company for the financial year ended March 31, 2021 do not contain any qualification, reservation, adverse remark or disclaimer. Accordingly, the reports are not required to be read out as provided in the Companies Act 2013. Now, I will begin my formal address to all of you, my dear shareholders. My dear share owners, a very warm welcome to each and every one of you. It gives me great pleasure to greet you all at the 44th Annual General Meeting of Reliance Industries Limited. It is the second year in a row that I miss the intimacy and the warmth of face-to-face interaction with you because of the COVID pandemic. However, the virtual format has enabled several lakhs of our shareholders to participate in this AGM from the safety of their homes. Friends, We are in the midst of a humanitarian crisis. Its scale, severity, and geographical spread are unseen in a century. It has filled the hearts of all Indians with enormous pain and grief. Several of our employees and shareholders have borne the brunt of this pandemic. Within our one large Reliance family, the suffering of any member becomes the suffering of all of us. Today, Neeta, I, and my colleagues on the board offer our heartfelt condolences to all those in our Reliance family who have lost their loved ones to this pandemic. I now request that all of us observe a minute of silence in the memory of the departed souls.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Esteemed shareholders, the company's accounts for the year ended 31st March 2021 have already been circulated to you. With your permission, I would like to take them as read. Our business performance and financial success since the last AGM have exceeded our expectations despite the pandemic. But I shall come to that later in my address. What has given me far greater happiness than our business performance is Reliance's humanitarian efforts during these exceedingly difficult times. I feel both proud and humbled to share with you that throughout the COVID crisis, our Reliance family has risen to the occasion with a sense of purpose and national duty. Our entire organization has become energized with the spirit of service. Every single employee has participated directly or indirectly in the fight against COVID and become a goodwill ambassador of Reliance. I'm sure our efforts of the last 1 year would have made our founding chairman, Shri Dhirubhai Ambani, proud, because the one common unifying thread that runs through everything we have ever done at Reliance is the spirit of care and empathy. We care for our employees and their families. We care for our customers, our shareholders, and our partners. We care for the country and the community. We care for the planet and the people. This is what the true Reliance spirit was, is, and will always be. I now invite Isha, Akash, and Neeta to tell us about our COVID missions of Reliance and the wonderful work done by all our colleagues.
Good afternoon, everyone. I am Isha Ambani.
And I am Akash Ambani.
Last AGM, we were hopeful that by this time, this year, the pandemic would be behind us. And yet, this is the second time that we're meeting virtually. These have no doubt been very difficult times. But we've come together as a country, as a society, and as one Reliance family to rise above them.
Despite the challenges we have faced, when we look back at the year, we feel humbled and inspired that each and every person in our Reliance family went out of their way to help one another, much beyond the call of duty.
And we know that had our grandfather been with us today, he would be proud. This is the Reliance he always wanted to see. One where each person did their very best to help those in need and to be of service to our communities and our country. Many of our Reliance family members have fought this battle from the front lines. Our retail store workers, telecom engineers, doctors, nurses, hospital staff. We have the deepest gratitude and highest admiration for each and every one of them.
They ensured our nation's fuel supplies are intact, digital connectivity is unaffected, and daily essential needs of millions of people are met safely. We are indebted to them for their service to our country, for their service to humanity.
And I'd like to share with you a couple of stories to highlight what some of our colleagues have done in this time. One of our Jio engineers, Mr. Dave, trekked 12 kilometers at 13,000 feet altitude in 10 feet of snow, can you imagine, through a totally non-motorable road to restore digital connectivity in the Spiti Valley.
When the cyclone hit Mumbai earlier this year, some of our Jio and retail stores faced indefinite power cuts. Our store manager, Rupesh, and so many others kept the stores running on minimum power consumption to ensure uninterrupted supplies to their customers.
And many of our very own frontline warriors contracted COVID themselves in the course of their duty. But their selfless courage has inspired us every moment of this fight. For over a year, Ricky Bindra, head of our corporate services, had been tirelessly organizing daily meals for the needy, setting up tie-ups for beds, medications, ventilators, oxygen, ambulances, and all of the vaccinations for our entire Reliance family. Last month, Ricky and his family were diagnosed COVID positive. Ricky himself was in the ICU for 30 days, completely paralyzed for 20 days, on a ventilator for 10 days. By the grace of God, he is okay and on the road to rehab and recovery. A salute to Ricky and countless other members of our Reliance family who have placed their country first, community next, family third, and self last in this hour of need. They are our real-life superheroes.
Thanks to their spirited efforts, millions of our fellow Indians have continued to work from home, shop from home, learn from home, and consult doctors from the safety of their homes in these tough times. Our colleagues personify the DNA of Reliance to care, unite, integrate, and empower.
Truly, Akash. And to tell us more about Reliance family's unified and tireless response to this crisis, let us now welcome the founder chairperson of the Reliance Foundation, our dearest mother, Mrs. Neeta Ambani.
Thank you, Isha and Akash. Esteemed shareholders, Namaskar. I hope that all of you and your loved ones are well and safe. The COVID-19 pandemic is a humanitarian crisis. It has tested the very spirit of humanity. But even in the darkest hour, our spirit has shone bright. We as a people have come together and fought this battle with immense empathy and compassion. Reliance Foundation, over the last 11 years, has always stood shoulder to shoulder with the people of India in every challenge, big or small. Through good and bad times, we have tried to make a difference to the lives of 45 million Indians across the country. In the remotest villages and towns of India, we have found and created stories of hope, of change, of transformation. And so last year, when humanity was struck with the worst crisis in over 100 years, we did our best to help in whichever way we could, and did so urgently. While our top priority this year was COVID relief, we ensured that we continued all our other developmental work as well. We remained committed to our vision for education and sport for all. Within days of the outbreak, our 14 schools turned into digital schools. They became safe havens of positivity and learning for thousands of students who embraced virtual schooling with unimaginable enthusiasm. We have also worked very hard through these challenging times to bring our dream project, the Jio Institute, to life. Jio Institute is envisioned to be an exemplary academic institution with a world-class platform for research, innovation, and lifelong learning. It will prepare the next generation of global leaders who will significantly contribute to the advancement of India and the world. Despite the pandemic, I am pleased to announce that Jio Institute is all set to commence academic sessions at the campus in Navi Mumbai this year itself. This year, we also launched Reliance Foundation scholarships in artificial intelligence and computer science for undergraduates and postgraduates. Beyond education, sport has been another symbol of hope, a medium to delight and inspire the world in these times. In 2020, our champions, Mumbai Indians, brought in a lot of joy and cheer to millions by winning their 5th IPL trophy. I wish our team all the best for the upcoming second leg of the IPL 2021. Our football league, ISL, became the first, the longest, and the biggest sporting event to be held entirely in India with complete safety protocols during the pandemic. It took more than 1,600 people in 18 different biobubbles across 14 different locations in Goa to pull off season 7 of the Indian Super League very successfully. Apart from cricket and football, we continue to focus on other sports like athletics, archery, basketball, badminton, and weightlifting. We have reached out to over 21.5 million children through our grassroots initiatives in various sports all across India. We hope to develop a holistic ecosystem that identifies and trains our young champions of tomorrow. Speaking of champions, I would like to wish all our athletes of Team India all the very best for the upcoming Tokyo Olympic Games. On a personal note, in December last year, Mukesh and I became proud grandparents to our dearest Akash and Shloka's precious baby boy, Prithvi Akash Ambani. Thank you all for your good wishes and blessings on this happy occasion in our family. Friends, I am a big believer in the phenomenal power of women. I believe that when women lean on women, incredible things happen. It is my dream and mission to empower every girl in India to write her own destiny. On Women's Day in March this year, we launched a digital platform for women called Her Circle. Her Circle is an inclusive, collaborative, interactive, and socially conscious digital movement. A circle of solidarity, sisterhood, and growth. Reliance Foundation also partnered with USAID to launch the Women Connect India Challenge this year, a partnership that aims to empower more and more Indian women with digital reach and opportunity. Digital technology truly is the backbone of this new world order. Using the power of digital, we also help rural communities safeguard their lives and livelihoods from the natural calamities that affected India this year. Be it the floods in Assam and Uttarakhand, or the cyclones on our eastern and western coast. Friends, now I would like to take you through the work that Reliance Foundation is doing in our nation's fight against the pandemic. Over the past 15 months, for Mukesh and me, the top priority has been to do whatever we can to help our nation and our people in these difficult times. Reliance Foundation launched 5 missions to fight the virus. Mission Oxygen, Mission COVID Infra, Mission Anna Seva, Mission Employee Care, and Mission Vaccine Suraksha. Let me start with Mission Oxygen. As you all know, India faced an acute shortage of oxygen as soon as COVID cases began to surge earlier this year. Reliance swung into action on a war footing immediately. Traditionally, we have never produced medical grade liquid oxygen. Yet, when the need arose, we repurposed our Jamnagar refinery within days to produce high purity medical grade liquid oxygen. And within 2 weeks, we ramped up production to a massive 1,100 metric tons per day. It would normally take over a year to set up a new medical grade oxygen plant of this capacity. But it was a superhuman effort by our Reliance engineers who put in more than 85,000 man-hours of work in less than 10 days to make it possible. They delivered what mattered the most, when it mattered the most. You will feel proud to know that today, Reliance is producing over 11% of India's medical grade liquid oxygen, the highest by a single company at a single location. We are providing this Pran Vayu oxygen to 1 out of every 10 COVID patients in India and offering this service to the nation free of cost. For Mukesh and me and every member of our Reliance family, this opportunity to serve humanity is the noblest of all noble causes. Friends, in the oxygen supply chain, we have addressed India's serious bottleneck of tankers. Reliance procured 100 new medical grade oxygen tankers, both from within India and other parts of the world, like Germany, Singapore, Saudi Arabia, Netherlands, Belgium, Thailand, Indonesia, and put them into service within 2 weeks. We also helped in installing oxygen generators in several hospitals across the country to strengthen oxygen availability. I salute all our engineers, doctors, and frontline warriors for working selflessly and tirelessly for Mission Oxygen. Dear shareholders, the key to fighting the pandemic is a strong COVID care infrastructure. That is what we have tried to achieve through Mission COVID Infra. Last year, within days of the coronavirus outbreak, we set up India's first dedicated 250-bedded COVID facility in Mumbai. By the time the second wave hit us, we had set up additional 875 beds for COVID care in Mumbai alone. Across India, we created a total capacity of over 2,000 beds for COVID care, all equipped to provide uninterrupted oxygen supply and totally free of cost treatment. We also launched a COVID testing lab with a capacity of over 15,000 tests per day. The entire medical fraternity are the real heroes of this fight. They have put their own lives at risk to save others, day after day. They have stayed isolated and away from their families and loved ones to care for us. They have worked long hours at a stretch, wearing full PPE kits, but never complained. They have compromised their own health and gone way beyond their call of duty. Dr. Tarang, Dr. Darshana, Dr. Vivek, Sister Aneta, Sister Agnes, Sister Kusum, brothers Chandrasekhar and Omkar, managers Akansha and Kumkum, Shivam, Vikas, Trinet, Mayank, Mayuri, and countless others. They became like friends and families for patients in COVID wards, caring for them, cheering for them, sometimes singing and dancing for them. Their bravery, their selflessness, and their large-heartedness is a tribute to humanity in its purest form. As a community, we owe each and every frontline warrior a huge debt. With folded hands, I salute their spirit of care and sacrifice. A big thank you on behalf of all of us. A heartfelt dhanyavad. Friends, in the early days of the lockdown, we launched Mission Anna Seva, our commitment to feed the needy, and we extended it to include cattle and stray animals. Today, this commitment has taken the form of the largest meal distribution program undertaken by a corporate foundation anywhere in the world. We have so far provided more than 7.5 crore free meals to marginalized communities, daily wage earners, and frontline workers across the country. Dear shareholders, our next mission, Mission Employee Care, is an expression of our care and concern for the most precious members of our extended family, our Reliance family. संस्कार और मूल्यों के आधार पर हमारा ये विशाल रिलायंस परिवार हमें ताकत देता है, हौसला देता है, प्रेरणा देता है। उसकी हर खुशी में हम साथ हैं और उसके हर दुख में हम हिस्सेदार हैं। When the pandemic started last year, literally overnight, we migrated to a full-time work from home mode. Across Reliance, we made sure that no jobs, no salaries, no bonuses were cut due to COVID. All medical expenses were fully paid and fully paid leaves were granted. It breaks our hearts that in spite of our best efforts, we lost some precious members of our Reliance family to the pandemic. Nothing can fill the void they've left in our minds and hearts. The entire Reliance family stands in solidarity with their families and shares their grief. We remain committed to their families' continued well-being and fulfilling the dreams that they saw together. Towards this end, Reliance will continue to pay the deceased employee's salary to the family for the next 5 years, finance their children's education in India till graduation, and ensure continuity of medical coverage to the family for life. Additionally, a lump sum amount of 10 lakhs will be provided to families of our off-roll employees who succumbed to COVID-19. My prayers, thoughts, and deepest condolences are with every family who has lost a loved one. Om Shanti. Dear friends, our fifth and most critical mission is Mission Vaccine Suraksha. Mass vaccination is India's topmost and urgent priority now. It is the most reliable way out of this crisis. And to achieve this in the shortest possible time, the Government of India has recently allowed private enterprises and hospitals to join the effort. To help speed up the vaccination drive, we have set up 116 vaccination centers in 109 cities across the country. We have made the entire vaccination process very easy and accessible on our physical digital platform, Jio Health Hub. With a click of a button, you can book a slot or download COVID certificates. Reliance Foundation will offer this platform absolutely free of cost to all users. The platform has the ability to scale up to 1 lakh vaccinations a day. That's 1 crore vaccinations in 100 days. We are continuously working to further increase this number. We hope to partner with other corporate and local authorities towards fulfilling the mission of vaccinating all Indians by the end of this year. As we speak, we are already testing this platform with our Reliance family. We are currently vaccinating all 20 lakh of our extended family, including retired employees, partner company employees, and their families, free of cost. Reliance's Mission Vaccine Suraksha is one of the largest corporate vaccination drives in India. Executing this mission on a nationwide basis is a humongous task. But it is our dharma, our duty to every Indian, our promise of safety and protection. Our firm belief that together we can and we will overcome. My dear shareholders, it is so inspiring to see each and every member of the Reliance family come together to do their bit and make a difference. And this journey is made even more fulfilling when we get a thank you message from a mother who recovers from COVID and then reunites with her child. When a senior citizen blesses us for providing essentials at her doorstep. When a migrant family feels that they are not alone in the city. When a doctor or nurse on duty can protect themselves as they receive the PPE in time. When a hungry stray dog feels human compassion. When a daughter stuck far away can provide for her old parents through digital solutions. And children can continue learning and seeing their friends in virtual school. These are moments that make you believe that we are in this fight together. And I assure you that in every challenge that India faces, Reliance Foundation has and will continue to stand with every Indian. Together, we shall overcome, as we always have. Please take care, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay hopeful. Jai Hind. Thank you.
कर दे मेरे हवाले तेरे दर्द सारे सीने से लगा लूं उनको मैं मां तुझ पे आँच ना आए तू हरदम मुस्काए कर दूंगा मैं कुर्बान खुद को ऐ मां तेरे आंसू मैं चुरा लूं पलकों पे मैं सजा लूं झुकने न देंगे सर कभी तेरा जीता रहे मेरा जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया, जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया, जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया। जिस मिट्टी पे जन्मा उस मिट्टी पे मरना हमने तो है सीखा, ए मेरी माँ। तेरी सारी दरारें हाथों से भर देंगे, कुछ भी होने न देंगे तुझको ए माँ। तेरे गम हम संभाले, तुझे सीने से लगा ले, झुकने न देंगे सर कभी तेरा। जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया, जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया, जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया, जीता रहे मेरा इंडिया।
Thank you, Neeta. Thank you, Isha and Akash. Let us give a standing ovation to each and every member of Team Reliance for their exemplary commitment, devotion, and resolve, for going beyond the call of duty in serving the society in its hour of greatest need. I indeed feel immense pride in leading such a team that combines excellence with empathy. My dear shareholders, I now turn to the business and financial performance of your company for the year 2020-2021. I am happy to report that even in a challenging environment, your company's performance continued to be outstanding. Our consolidated revenue was nearly 5,40,000 crores, with a sharp increase from our consumer business. Our consolidated EBITDA was nearly 98,000 crores, and almost 50% of the EBITDA was contributed by consumer businesses. One of these consumer businesses, retail, is only about a decade old. The other business, Jio, is also only 5 years old. Our net profit for the year was 53,739 crores, higher by 34.8% compared to the previous year. Despite the pandemic, we increased our dividends this year. Dear friends, as India's largest business enterprise, Reliance's contribution to the Indian economy continues to remain unmatched. At 1,45,143 crores, we continue to be India's largest exporter, accounting for 6.8% of India's total merchandise exports to over 107 countries. Even in this challenging environment, Reliance added nearly 75,000 new jobs in the past year. We are committed to creating and enabling large-scale employment opportunities, which is one of India's most urgent national tasks. We continue to be India's highest payer of customs and excise duty in the private sector, with payments of 21,044 crores. We are amongst the highest payers of GST and VAT at 85,306 crores. We are also amongst the highest payers of income tax in the private sector, paying 3,213 crores. For the financial year 2021, Reliance successfully carried out the largest ever capital raise by any company globally in a year, notwithstanding the COVID challenges. The capital raises exceeded 3,24,432 crores, that is $44.4 billion US dollars through equity in Jio platforms and retail, rights issue and asset monetization. The investors included some of the best and marquee names across the world, across sovereign wealth funds and private equity. This capital raise is a strong vote of confidence by the global investors in India's growth potential. It reflects their faith in the ability of your company's management to execute ambitious projects and long-term value creation plans. We also rewarded the shareholders with the largest and the most successful rights issue ever by an Indian company. I am really delighted that our retail shareholders have made 4x returns in just 1 year on their rights issues. All of these helped Reliance achieve a net debt-free balance sheet much ahead of March 2021, a promise I had made to you 2 years ago. Dear friends, let me now talk about the performance of the individual businesses. Jio Platforms is the leading digital company in India with leadership in wireless connectivity and unmatched suite of apps and platforms. The consolidated revenues in the past year were 86,493 crores with an EBITDA of 32,359 crores. We had a net addition of 37.9 million subscribers during the year. We now serve over 425 million consumers on our network. We have revenue leadership in 19 out of 22 circles. Reliance Retail continues to be the undisputed leader in organized retail in the country, with a scale that is more than 6 times the next competitor. Despite a challenging year, retail had revenues of 1,53,818 crores and an EBITDA of 9,842 crores. We are by far the leader in each category: grocery, electronics, and apparel. Our O2C business faced unprecedented challenges as the beginning of the year was marked by severe economic contraction, leading to demand destruction and supply chain dislocations. We focused on safe operations of all our facilities. We were probably the only company globally that operated its facilities at near full capacity and was profitable in every quarter. Our consolidated revenues during the year were 320,008 crores with an EBITDA of 38,170 crores. We managed to maintain EBITDA margin at 11.9% despite volatility in both feedstock and product prices. We operationalized the JV with BP in fuel retailing, using technology and innovation to deliver new customer value. The demand and the margin environment for petrochemicals has recovered to pre-COVID levels by March. I am confident that our O2C business will benefit from the strong global growth environment. As an important part of this vision of achieving accelerated growth, we look forward to welcoming Saudi Aramco as a strategic partner in our O2C business. Despite several challenges due to COVID-19, we have made substantial progress in the past year in our discussions. These discussions have been held in the spirit of mutual commitment to convert a long-standing relationship into a perpetual partnership. This continued engagement and resolve from both sides, even during this pandemic, is a testimony of the strong relationship between Saudi Aramco and Reliance. I expect our partnership to be formalized in an expeditious manner during this year. In our E&P business, BP and Reliance commenced production in KGD6 basin. Our joint venture brought two of the three toughest deep water gas projects to production. This has been accomplished in a record time and set a new global benchmark for capital costs. We are now on course to bring the third deep water MJ field on stream in the last quarter of 2022. Together, we will produce 30 million cubic meters per day of gas by 2023. This will establish Reliance again as one of the largest domestic producers of gas in India, meeting 20% of India's gas demand. E&P will again be a source of significant value and sustained earnings growth over the next decade. Dear shareholders, today I am happy to inform you about a change in the board of Reliance Industries Limited. Shri Y.P. Trivedi has expressed his desire to retire from the board. It is my duty to place on record our sincerest thanks to Shri Y.P. Trivedi. He joined our board at the request of our founder chairman, Dhirubhai Ambani, in 1992. On behalf of the entire board and the shareholders, I would like to thank him from the bottom of my heart for all his wise counsel and sage advice for nearly 30 years. YP Uncle, we wish you continued good health and happiness. You are now 92 years young. May God bless you to become Tayushi, a centurion, and all of us in your Reliance family will celebrate that day together. I am delighted and privileged to welcome His Excellency Yasir Al Rumayyan, Chairman of Saudi Aramco and the Governor of the Public Investment Fund, to join the board of Reliance Industries Limited as an independent director. He is one of the most renowned names in energy, finance, and technology globally. I am sure that we will immensely benefit from his rich experience of running one of the world's largest companies and also one of the largest sovereign wealth funds in the world. His joining our board is also the beginning of internationalization of Reliance. You will hear more about our international plans in the times to come. Dear shareholders, last year I had shared with you our vision to create the next big value creation engine for Reliance and India, our new energy and new materials business. I had also announced our 15-year commitment to become net carbon zero by 2035. Today, I am happy to present to you our ambitious strategy and roadmap for implementing this vision. The world is entering a new energy era which is going to be highly disruptive. The age of fossil fuels, which powered economic growth globally for nearly 3 centuries, cannot continue much longer. The huge quantities of carbon it has emitted into the environment have endangered life on Earth. Our world has only one option: a rapid transition to a new era of green, clean, and renewable energy. The COVID pandemic has further put the climate issue in the crisis bucket. Therefore, the global new energy agenda needs to move from dialogue to action, from commitment to urgent implementation on the ground. In reality, it is not enough to be carbon neutral. The world needs to achieve absolute reductions in emissions as soon as possible. Last month, the International Energy Agency, for the first time, presented a concrete global roadmap for the energy sector to remove all emissions by 2050. The roadmap calls for annual additions of solar photovoltaic to increase global solar capacity from 737 gigawatts in 2020 to about 5,000 gigawatts by the end of 2030. While this clean energy transition is a global imperative, it is important for India and other developing nations for another reason. India is experiencing an explosion of aspirations. India's GDP per capita is around $2,000, while the world average is around $12,000. India's power consumption per capita is at present only 1/3 of the global power consumption. This wealth disparity and energy disparity is unacceptable. Further, the health, well-being and quality of life of every human being is in peril because of the polluted environment. The only answer to these problems lies in sustainable and equitable development in India and globally. How do we increase our energy production while drastically reducing our carbon emissions content? How do we meet India's growing energy needs through domestic sources of energy and not by importing carbon-intensive fuels? How do we do so in a self-reliant and affordable way which benefits 1.35 billion Indians? These are the challenges we face. I firmly believe that India can, India must, and India will meet these challenges. Friends, today I would like to make 3 affirmations. First, as one of the biggest energy markets in the world, India will play a leading role in transforming the energy landscape. Second, as a company always focused on growing businesses of the future, Reliance will provide leadership on the combined strength of our balance sheet, talent, technology, and proven project execution capabilities. Third, Reliance will make its new energy business a truly global business. In 2016, we launched Jio with the aim of bridging the digital divide in India. Now, in 2021, we are launching our new energy business with the aim of bridging the green energy divide in India and globally. And we will do it like we have always done by getting our first principles right. First, through hyper-integration, by integrating scientific knowledge with continuous technological innovation to build and operate truly integrated systems that deliver hyper-performance. Second, with a robust business model, by building a model that catches the irreversible upward curve in the demand for green, clean and renewable energy in India and globally, and the downward curve in the cost of their production. Third, by scale, by improving the efficiency, performance and life cycle of our assets and operations to achieve total system optimization and economics. Friends, I have no doubt that world-class talent will be the most critical resource for this new business. We have begun the process of attracting the best talent from across the world and put into place various key initiatives. We have established the Reliance New Energy Council with some of the finest minds globally. They will help us validate our strategies and embrace disruptive pathways to achieve our goals. We are creating a coalition of partnership with leading global universities, best technology companies, and the most promising startups in USA, Europe, Australia, and Asia. In addition, we shall leverage our existing strengths and capabilities in digitization and platforms and large-scale manufacturing.
भी जादू कर सकते हो।